All right, hello. This is your Dreaded Crypto channel coming at you. It's July 17th, 2022. It's been a few days since we had an update. We actually got a breakout on the Ethereum chart, which could be leading um, Bitcoin to be breaking out a little bit more convincingly. It has not broken out above resistance yet, as Ethereum has. And a lot of times, coins will precurse Bitcoin's move. So as long as we can hope there, likely we'll consolidate above this range in this Fibonacci pocket. This is the golden pocket here between 1200, 1200. So it's possible that we come back down to 1200 and retest and then bounce, which is more than likely what's going to happen. There's also a bit of a CVE gap formed over this weekend because of that pump. So usually on Mondays we'll fill that gap. But this looks like a good move. Just want to continue it. Take a look at Bitcoin real quick. 21,168, 150. See at the Ethereum chart, this would be a similar move to like probably 23, 24K, but we have not had that yet. And this consolidation could continue. We could come back down even and continue filling this range, this box. What we don't want to see is a break of 19K. If we come back down to this range, 18, 9, 19, yeah, if we come back down here, it's very likely we'll go on down and test 14 to 16K range, and maybe even ultimately the 10 to 12K range. Not something we want to talk about. I don't think that's very possible, or very likely it is possible, but it's also dependent on what the markets do this week. They're likely going to raise the rates. They might be real aggressive in raising the 1%, which is sort of priced in. 0.75 is definitely priced in, but I think if we get a 0.75, that will actually be bullish because the inflation data was so bad last week. But if we get a 1% interest rate hike, likely that won't be a huge issue one way or another. But if they go even more aggressive, like 1.25 or something, that would scare some people, and that would cause a dip, and that Bitcoin could, go down pretty heavily, maybe to 15 or 16K, something along those ranges. So something to be wary of and to be thinking about. Yeah, just looking at the 4-hour, we're a little overextended on some of these buying ranges. Look at the daily; that'll tell us the most. And the stochastic RSI, it is a faster moving average. The regular RSI is still low, so there's not really a problem there, but it's just mainly. Let's try to zoom in a little bit more. Yeah, my target's been 24 to 25K, but we've been so suppressed. I mean, I think ultimately we might make a shoot for the 30K level, and that's also where the 21-week moving average is. So it would make the most sense to go up there and hit that. Let's see if I can find it here. 21 week. For some reason, it's not showing up on the chart. Yeah, I don't know why it's not showing up on the chart, but I could see us going up to 28 to 30K and maybe coming back down. It's even possible that we do a big fake out and go up higher than that, but just a question of when and how. The daily stochastic RSI is starting to get to the overbought level. That doesn't mean that we can't get another shoot up, but it's probably more likely that we fall back down into some kind of range here. So something just to take a look at and think about here. And as far as like Voyager Celsius News, been doing a lot of research on that, as I do have capital in both of those platforms. Personally, gut feeling of Voyager, I don't know as much about that one, but I think that one's going to get bought out by something or somebody, just due to they were a lot more aggressive on the Chapter 11, and Sam Bankman-Fried has money with them. There's some strange situations in that I'm thinking that maybe FTX, maybe he'll buy them out or something. Speculative, but as long as as far as Celsius goes, I mean, a lot of my research is showing that we would probably take a haircut one way or another with our holdings. And I was thinking, when they do have, I think it's 40,000 mining rigs. I think it's like around $400,000 or $600,000 worth of mining rigs, or $600 million worth of mining rigs. So if they aren't forced to sell it and they restructure and become a mining company, over time, that could be good. I mean, maybe they merge with somebody, maybe someone buys them out. I don't think Celsius could. I'm sorry to say it, but I just don't think they will be able to rebrand after this whole thing. Well, they won't be able to continue as Celsius. Someone's going to have to buy them out. Probably have to replace Alex Mashinsky, regardless. But the thing is, if they have a $1.5 billion hole, and say the prices go up, and they go, say if Bitcoin goes up to 28K, and then they start liquidating everything, that hole won't be there in the same light. So it's possible that we might be okay. I mean, as long as people are willing to wait for market conditions to improve, or they might be waiting for them to improve and then liquidate. That way, we get more than nothing. Like I think 50% to 75% is pretty likely. I'm pretty broken about it. Like it's just that sets me back pretty far, along with the Voyager holdings, and I'm just so really annoyed with all of that. I have a lot of DEX wallets. Definitely looking at Exodus wallet, Atomic wallet, Crypto.com has a DeFi wallet. You need to do self-custody. Like, it's more important now than ever. Coinbase seems to be having some issues. I don't know if it's real or not. It's probably FUD at this point. It's just hard to say. It's just the best thing to do is have self-custody. And a lot of like Atomic wallet, Exodus wallet, you can still stake. You can get rewards on Atom and Tezos and a handful of others. Just like you could still earn rewards on these DEX wallets, and I'm very I can't help but to push that. And no centralized entity controls them. You could do swaps. You can there are exchanges as well. So if you want to swap one coin for another, sometimes coins are deactivated, but the big coins, the main coins, are pretty safe. I'm mainly stacking Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I'm also looking at some of these altcoins right now because everything is such a discount. I mean, Polygon's doing some stuff with Disney, so I'm starting to stack that. XRP, their lawsuit's looking more positive, so I'm stacking some of that. I think, it's just mainly those four. Link as well. And Cardano, of course. Cardano has their merge coming up, so I'm all of those I'm extremely bullish on. And this whole big wipeout, I think, is going to give more power and credence to the cryptos that have that use case, and those horses in the race are going to do well. I think DOT, anything that is still holding up pretty strong. I think we'll do well. BNB token, KuCoin seems to be doing well. KuCoin shares, I think that's worth. I'm just scared of any of these exchanges right now, but until the dust settles, but I think KuCoin's going to do well. So in that case, I think KuCoin shares could be like the next BNB token and do almost as well, as not better than that. But a lot of it, again, depends on the stock market. The stock market could take another big dump this week, but on the other side of that, someone's purchasing this debt, and I think it's the government, the Federal Reserve. They're buying the dip in these stocks. Someone's buying it. There's some debt that's being bought. So Gregory Mannarino is a guy I follow, and he's got a big lock on that. But DOT's coming up at like a pretty good buy zone. I mean, you're getting these coins as if the last 4 years never happened, which for me is like it's a big kick in the face, because I really believed in some of these coins to do a lot better and have ecosystems built out, and I thought we would come further than this, but the world said no. But I mean, for people just coming in here, like, realize this is the second chance, once in a life opportunity, as long as you don't mess it up. Like, Zilliqa, I'm big on that because they have NFTs. Tezos staking rewards like 3 to 5%. I don't know as much about what Tezos does. I think they're like an Ethereum sort of thing. XLM is like XRP, not the biggest fan, whatever. Um, VE chain, they've got the supply chain, blockchain, like they're one of the few. I think that'll do well. Tron's interesting is they've been around so long. They have a pegged stable coin, which is I'm worried about them becoming a Luna, but they survived this far. Tron, it's interesting. Neo is still around. I'm looking at these tickers on TradingView, and I wouldn't think TradingView would put some of these crypto tickers on here unless they had some kind of confidence on there. So just something to think about. The mining stocks are starting to bottom out. I think they're going to start pumping. That's also contingent on the stock market, but I think we're at a stock market bottom of some sort. Maybe we get one more bounce down. Maybe the Fed comes out this week and gets real aggressive on rates, like even more than we think. But more than likely, they have a better grip on the data, and they know that their rates are probably going to take time to play into the system. So we'll see. We'll see how their knee-jerk reaction is. ADA, Aave. All right, so DeFi. DeFi is like, do not go over these DeFi platforms. Like I made that mistake. We'll go over these mistakes that I've made this past bull run. I've been in since 2017, so I've seen a lot of this stuff, and I got a little cocky, last year. Not gonna lie, but I really thought CeFi would work, and crypto is here as it's a decentralized option. You try to put centralized options into that, you're gonna get bad players. You're gonna get like manipulation. Even if it didn't start that way, it's going to become that way. So like decentralization is key. Like put your stuff on your own wallets. DeFi like protocols like Ethereum and Aave, smart contract systems. I also use a Kyber Crystal wallet, which is the Kyber token ecosystem. But they have things where you could stake on their wallet, provide liquidity, like synthetics. I think it was 18%. Like it's just crazy. Like Celsius had the same rates. Everyone's complaining about how Celsius had like 17, 18%. How could that be sustainable? That was like one or two tokens. Like one token, synthetics had a really high rate. Matic had 10%, but most everything else was 2 to 3%, 1%. Like, sorry, that's really not that great. And the volatility, you're getting paid because of the volatility. I mean, these things will go down 90%. Like, so getting paid 3 to 5% kind of makes sense to me. Call me crazy, but the media is spinning this like it's they don't know what's going on, and I definitely know more than your typical anchor, and like that's just they're just getting fed stuff to pay. They're getting paid to feed that stuff, or they're just coming up with their own little opinions that don't really have any real backing. Link is another one that's so undervalued. Like, I mean, right now getting into Link right now is like when I first got into it. Almost, it's just absolutely insane how that one got tore up. The Dixie is the dollar index compared to all other assets, and that one's really interesting. And it's gone parabolic, but it's going to reject here at some point. The second it does start rejecting, the second this thing rejects, that means everything, all other assets are going to start recovering. Even if we just reject a little bit, come back down here for a couple months, that will at least give us a relief bounce, which would, I think, give us 28, 30K, and then like NASDAQ and whatnot. And then maybe in the fall we get another. A lot of people are calling for another big capitulation in the fall. Maybe that would be due to elections, or regulations could cause for it. I mean, I feel like we've seen the majority of the blood. We've seen that CeFi in its current form does not work. And a lot of people paid the price. And God, I hope we can get through this whole thing. And the other thing is we need CeFi for people like our older generations, like my grandparents and my mom, like parents, like they trying to deal with all of this stuff. It's a part-time job, and like they know technology, but they don't know it that well, and it's not something they want to deal with. So you need to be able to have CeFi, be able to go to a bank, and they have custody of it. But maybe they do it in a way that's also decentralized and transparent. You know, I didn't know about 3 Arrows Capital, like Wager doing that. There was kind of shifty, kind of shifty and shady. So we'll have to see what happens there. But I mean, the U.S. dollar hasn't been this high since 2002. I mean, this parabolic run. If you look at how these parabolic runs go, I'm taking a look right here. I mean, we're probably getting close to the top here. Maybe we get one more push up. It'd be crazy, but if we go up to this level and then reject, we'll have to see. But I mean, it's topped out on the weekly, and we're starting to get some bearish divergence where the price goes up, but the buying volume is decreasing. We're starting to get a little bit of that, so you gotta keep an eye on it. Litecoin, surprisingly, is actually holding up pretty well too. A few other things kind of take a look at. Crypto Fear and Greed Index is at 24. I've already refreshed it. It's at 24. So we're still in extreme fear, but we've had the highest extreme fear reading in like 2 months. So that's positive, sort of. And something else interesting, taking a look at leverage. So like this is a leverage chart in crypto on Crown's channel, and it shows you like when people are trading and they're over leveraged, and obviously like we're really far down. We're actually pretty much at the levels of last summer when there was that big capitulation event. I mean, if we start coming up to these yellow lines of like 11, 12 billion, that could be an indication that we're overheated, but we're still so far down here. There's probably a lot of shorters, so I think we're relatively healthy. I don't think we're going to get a big push down right now. It's going to be interesting to see what happens this week. Waiting for the crypto bubbles to load up, but I might check on that later. I'm not really as concerned with that right now. That's it for me. Let's hope that things work out this week and get better. All right, peace.